All right, now I'd like to introduce Bert Walling, Berkeley Electric's Director in Key Accounts and Government Relations. Bert will provide an overview of how to prepare your electric for severe storms. Bert?
Hi. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We give you a mic here. Unless you want to use the podium.
I can use the mic. I like to move. Thank you. I've got a presentation, but if you're having problems putting it up, it's okay. I can add it. Well, while we're waiting, show of hands. Who's ready for a hurricane? Who is actually ready for a hurricane? Are you prepared for a hurricane? I know we're not wanting to be prepared for a hurricane, but a lot of times you think about it, are you actually at home? If you had to go back home right now, are you prepared? Show of hands. Look at that. Nobody. Nobody. And that's why you're here, right? I want to know what to do, what the high points are. All right, she got it. Good job. Now, this is up. I'll go through this quickly because I got 10 minutes, right? Here. Something that I wanted to show, I put on here. Does anybody follow our YouTube page? This is really a really good. If you follow this, there's a bunch of tips on here. A lot of hurricane tips. I don't know if this will play here. Will it play? Probably not. It's okay. What I was trying to show you is there's a lot of key things that are like quick 16, 20 seconds. Make sure if you hear one thing today from the power company, and most people know I'm in a room where I'm most hated. I am the most hated person in the room. I am the most hated, and I'm so sorry, but I try to be the best to all y'all. But if you hear one thing today, make sure you update your information with your power provider, Berkeley Electric. And the reason why I ask that, you probably only seen it, touched it one time when you bought your house, built your house. You probably changed names, changed contacts. So when you report that outage and you've changed your number, I've done changed numbers 3 times. So it just happens. That's just the way it works. It may not even log your information right. So that was actually what that was about. And you can watch it if you want to watch it online. But once again, that's important. Because if you go up right now, if you lose power and you're like, I can't get in, because you know we serve 145,000 people just in this area. You're not going to get on the phone with somebody on a major hurricane. So the best thing to do is use the internet or use our smart app. But make sure you have your contacts right. That's one of the most important things I've ever tell anybody. A lot of people, like this morning, came up to me and said, what do you do when prepare for a storm? Plug your appliances into a surge protector just in case. We do a lease of a surge protection. I think I gave those out. If you want to stop back there, I think I'll give you some more information about that. Leave on a single light. Why do you leave on a single light? Power goes out. You don't know if the power came back on because all the lights are off. It's just one of those things where, oh, look there, lights back on. So just something. Keep your refrigerator shut. It's a good thing because I think if you got a decent refrigerator with good insulation, it'll save for at least 3 to 4 days. Always a concern. My neighbor's power's out. My neighbor's power's restored. I'm sorry, but I'm still out. Have you ever had that question? Everybody gets so aggravated about that. Everybody thinks we can go up to the wall and go click. Wish it was that easy. Sometimes you may have an internal problem, main breaker. I don't want to get too technical, but we support this area in multiple ways, just like Becky does. She's got multiple water pipes going all over the place. So just remember that. Don't get mad at us. We're working on it. But do remember to report that outage. So every year we do a full, just like we're doing here today. We do a full storm plan. I'm not going to get too much into it, but we use all these, you've heard these big terms, and we do our major storm. We have a book about that big. and it tells us for anything we need to do. So we are very well working on making sure. So when the storm goes out, comes through, everybody thinks the storm's out there right now. They'll call us and say, why aren't trucks out? Get that question a lot. The reason why we're not out is we can't fly a bucket, because the buckets are usually on Johns Island, is what's bringing power in. You can't fly a bucket and, I think it's 40-mile-an-hour winds. So that's the reason why. Usually it's about 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours. That's the reason why. So don't get upset if you don't see us in the area. Restoration priority, I don't want to go through this because this is kind of lengthy, but what we try to do is we restore hospitals. We try to do all of the major loads that we have on our system to protect people. We are going to get to you, but we try to do it in larger areas. If I can get on 2,000 people, wouldn't you rather me get 2,000 people on and get 2 people on? It's just the way it works. Wouldn't you rather get the hospital on? Yeah. Here's the big one. Nobody likes me on this one. I think I've gotten 8 questions this morning. How do you know when you make a decision to cut the power off? And this is amazing. The whole island knows that. It's just like, it just amazes me. And I'm impressed that y'all are aware of that. I've only been in this position 5 years. So luckily, I didn't take any heat for that so far. Hopefully I don't. But that's not a good call to both of our mayors here. That is not a good call. But to give you an idea real quick, and I explained it, you want the power to be on as quickly as possible, correct? That's human nature. So we are going to take the proactive approach. If we see that storm surge coming in, and it's going to get, so everybody, you don't see any overhead lines. You see overhead lines stop on BEC. You ever notice that? You get Seabrook to the right, where's the power line? Go to the left, where's the power lines? Does anybody ever notice that? Y'all requested that. But I'm not being mean. That's for aesthetics. You want it to be pretty. And we want you to have a pretty place to live. So the reason why I say that is, things are now on the ground. Everything's on the ground. What does that mean? Storm surge. Everybody got little green pedestals in their yard, transformers, secondary cabinets. If that fills up and the power's on, salt water, electricity they don't work. So what happens? We're gonna blow up stuff. So if we're going to cut the power off, the reason why we proactively cut the power off, we don't want to do it. Believe me, we don't want to do it. But what we're trying to do is to make sure those little boxes on the road up to your house don't just blow up. Because when they blow up, that's probably 2 to 3 weeks. Because now we got stuff on Johns Island, but we have to bring it in, we got to redo cabling, we got to do everything. We can't just go out there and tighten the screw down. So what we're doing with the fire department's help, we cut it off. Hopefully, once the storm leaves, we go wash it out with fresh water. Make sure everything's good, isolate, and then we cut it back on. So 3 weeks, 2 weeks, or 2 days. That's kind of what. Hopefully that makes sense. Some people still don't like that, but that's it. But that's any questions for me? Good. I will sneak out.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank y'all.